So at that point, I took my jersey off. I took my shirt off. Everybody in MetLife started clapping. I was feeling like Meat Mills and Fab in the MetLife, and then I
Is there do you have any, hindsight is 2020, and that's a phrase that people throw around, but it's true. Do you have any regrets on the way that you left? And thinking back, do you think had you left in a quote unquote calmer, more less disruptive manner, that the blame would be more so on Tampa Bay and Bruce Arians instead of being split 50-50?
what do you ask me? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I didn't understand they cut me and said that they didn't know I was hurt. Like these guys had amount of detail about what the situation was, and it's not a bad thing. Vincent Jackson was another player who played for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we don't see no celebrations or no support. So this thing is bigger than just what's going on with me. It's a lot of situations in life like this, and it's all about how you handle your life and what do you want out of life. I'm not here to be an advocate for anything. I'm not here to. I'm just here to live out my truth, and this is where we at present in regards of what went down.
Now,
If,
AB,
if I can, and if I can add to this from a little historical standpoint, these I love these young men. I mean, Sean's like my nephew, AB's my nephew, Justin, little boy, they all come to me. I played in the late '80s. I played for 2 years, and I watched people out there getting their heads hit in. They even made a movie about three of my teammates who died from playing all football results from football. Mike Webster. All that movie with Will Smith
right?
about the doctor. I was in that locker room. So I'm always telling these guys to live their life and be real. But if somebody doesn't at some point shout out and Nat Turner, I mean, what I honestly believe would have happened is, I'm sorry, I had my phone. What I believe would have happened if he wouldn't have done what he done, they would have cut him and said, "Oh, he refused to go in the game," and no one would have gave a crap, and they would have just blamed it all on my nephew. Oh, AB this, AB that. So I'm glad that he stood up and somebody told him to get the fuck off the field. Come on. I mean, so I just want to say from a historical standpoint, I quit after 2 years and went into business and made millions and millions of dollars. And I'm so glad I stopped playing in the NFL. Now, I was nowhere near the talent they were, but there's more to these young men than just running around on the field entertaining, fans at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Oh yeah,
and anybody in the NFL.
I totally understand that. And obviously, when I first saw it, I went on record on Twitter saying I believe AB. I feel like the NFL on the front side says how much they care about player safety and player health and brains and concussions and all that, but they will do literally anything to get you on the field, especially if you're a star player like Antonio Brown. And the one person that I wasn't surprised to see him stick up for you, but like it kind of felt good to see was your quarterback Tom Brady. I feel like there was it was a very easy moment for him to be upset, but I think he showed you a lot of grace. He definitely came out and said, like how much he cares about you. We all know that he opened his doors to you and you lived with him for a while. Like he went to bat for you for a long time. So my question for you, AB, and for you, Chuck, is how did that feel when you saw those comments that Tom Brady made for you publicly? And have you guys spoken since then? Like what's the
And
relationship been
if
like since?
I can just add on to that, Kaz, it has, there was a quote AB gave recently, speaking about friendships, especially in the business of sports, that sometimes people are just your friend because of what you can do for them. So, my follow up question to that after Kaz's question, do you feel that the friendship was only a friendship of benefit and not a friendship of, true solidarity?
Yeah, 2 days ago. I mean, you can't really expect anyone to be a friend in the business of football. The game is football, but our business is winning. Me and Tom Brady have something in common. We're winners. We like winning. We like to compete. We like to be the best. So we got that in common. That what makes me want to be around him. That what makes us play together. That what makes us gel. That brings out greatness. But to say someone's my friend, like I'm out here getting prove it type contracts where I'm out here, they got me trying to earn $1 million to make some type of catches. So to say you my friend, I mean, I shouldn't be playing under those type of deals when I just came with you and won a Super Bowl. So I think people like to be around me and spend time, but they're not even seeing my value in that regards. Because if you check the stats and the history, which we get paid on, what we call about the work and the intangibles, I was thinking that I could deserve more than be worrying about earning money instead of worried about winning another Super Bowl.
So, but don't you think that there's also the mode of thinking that the rising tide lifts all ships, right? Like before, this run with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, if you guys didn't win a championship or you weren't on the team, there'd be really no money to make. So, do you think that if you would have just, and obviously hindsight is 2020, do you think that if you were healthy and you weren't, necessarily going for those bonuses with the extra catches and the touchdowns, but you make another a successful playoff run, another Super Bowl run, this doesn't happen, and teams everywhere see, okay, Antonio Brown could still get the job done. We're going to take a chance and sign him to X amount of dollars, the money that you rightfully deserve because he's still an all pro type of talent. Do you think that would have changed anything at all if you were healthy?
Say that again, please.
So what I'm trying to say is, just hypothetically, let's say that you were healthy and you didn't necessarily reach those catches, the amount of catches that you would get to get those that bonus money, and you just kind of was the good soldier, played ball, balled out, made another great Super Bowl run or a good playoff run, and teams around the league see that, this guy could still really benefit my team and still get touchdowns and still do his thing. Do you think with hindsight being 2020, would you have been better off just playing this out if you were healthy and just get the wins and then worry about the money that you rightfully earned next season with another team or with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Do you think that would have worked out?
Well, I don't live in my fears, or I don't live in the what ifs, or what if, or what not. All I have at this present moment right here, how I've been handled, how I continue to be handled, how I continue to be slandered, how I continue to be made upon as a bad guy. I know America loves its bad guys, but I'm a great guy. I just won a Super Bowl. I'm an American hero. I persevered for numerous adversity. I took a COVID suspension without evidence and information that was presented correctly, and came back, got 100 yards on the half an ankle, a deltoid, torn ligament, bone fractures in my ankle. No one's talking about the great things that I've been able to persevere through and do. I've been kicked off teams, wrote and written bad about, bad statements, created bad stories. And no matter what has been said, I continue to persevere and come through with the work. So let's not use value of the perseverance and the inspiration behind the things and the things you guys create upon my image, and the mental health thing that's being tossed around is another thing that's not to play with. People
Yeah.
want to make it seem like I'm crazy because I'm running, hopping around in the stadium with my shirt off, getting the crowd hype. Imagine if someone's kicking you away from something you love, put your heart in the commitment, and if you're not good in this game, they get rid of you. Imagine I'm coming off the bench playing 30 plays. I'm not complaining. I'm making do what I could do. Life is all about opportunity.
Yeah.
So treat me as a normal citizen and treat me as who I am because I know who I am. I'm Antonio Brown, a good citizen, a great person, a great father, and a great football player. That's it.
So I
I think there were
got I
definitely
got
some
one
things.
more question. So I guess it's a simple one. Antonio Brown, do you still want to play football next season?
Of course, I plan on playing football the next season. You seen what I've been able to do on the hurt ankle? You guys have seen able to the stats and what I've been able to do coming off the bench. It's been 4 years since I've been able to be in a situation where I could be in good health and a good team that really have my back. These guys been treating me opposite of who I really am, and I've been able to accept that role for a couple of years out of respect. But I'm looking forward to getting my ankle cleaned up. I'm looking forward to reigniting my career. I'm excited about a restart of next year, and I look forward to the opportunities that the NFL, if that's a possibility, have for me. Right now, Pitt from the Palace is up everywhere. How's business? Booming.
And AB, I wanna ask you this because when your statement came out. One of the things that I actually said was maybe he was, I believe that maybe he was upset about touches, but not for the reason that everyone's saying. I think it's because I'm already forced to go out here, play injured, and you're forcing me, and then you're not even utilizing me. But I want to ask you, throughout your career as a competitor of the highest level, you've obviously played injured before, because your desire to win and your desire to compete overrides sometimes how you're feeling as an individual. You want to win, you want to win Super Bowls, you want to win as many as possible in your career. What was different about this time where you just said enough is enough? I cannot continue to play like this, and I'm going to go ahead and put myself first, which is something that athletes rarely do.
Well, first off, I haven't practiced all week. I haven't been to practice since Thursday and Friday. I text the coach knowing that I wasn't probably gonna play because I can't run on this thing. I've been out since week 6 during the season. So like the more you run on it, the swelling it get. The harder the surface, the swelling it get. The harder the surface, the harder the environment, the sweller it get. The more I run and cut on it,
I think he cut out. AB, I think you cut out.
I think he cut out again, but
Yeah, he cut out.
I wanted to talk about Pit to the Palace. Like, I was kind of surprised at how good it was. Like,
Well, let me go ahead
it
and let
kind
him.
of
AB, finish,
goes.
finish your statement on what you were saying about injuries, and then we want to go ahead and get to your music.
Word.
I think you're muted though. You got to
and
unmute your mic.
seeing the trainer to understand where I'm at. And for the game, they had me questionable. So to say that they cut me and they didn't know I was hurt when I was obviously questionable before the game, on record for mixing practice Thursday and Friday. So how could you treat a person like that when they can't work? You just cut them off the sideline? Like, what am I, a joke now?
Does this spoil your idea of the business of football? Do you feel, moving forward, you said obviously your career in the NFL is far from over. Are you more apprehensive than ever before because of the treatment that you're speaking on, that you dealt with in Tampa Bay, especially regarding something as serious as an injury, and continuing to play on an injury can jeopardize the remainder of your career moving forward? What is going to be your mindset when figuring out what your next team is and what your next landing spot is?
Well, first off, we just got to give people to treat us with respect. First off, morally, principally, in the media, in life, in the world, as people, we got to learn how to, treat other people the way you want to be treated. Not just slander people, not just use people as pawns, and when you can't use them, just throw them to the side. And a lot of players been going through that. They don't have the position that I have to be in, to be able to handle it with class and being able to, respond from it and get better from it. So these type of things cause trauma to people and access that DNA trauma and having people revert back. Like Junior Seau actually shot himself in the chest. Imagine you get into a point where you're seeing where you can't do nothing for someone, they just toss you to the side and you've been sacrificing time away from your family, putting your life on the line. You realize the people that have been there smiling and being with you is not really how they say they is, and they constantly show you that. So it's like, you got to be really comfortable with playing football because I got sons that I'm raising who love to play the game, and they got to understand in the midst of the game is a business, and the business is winning. And if you can't help people win, they don't. That's how they treat you. They tell you get the heck out of here. So if you ain't got that mental capacity to deal with that in some form of capacity, then it's not for you.
Have any of, I mean, you mentioned, the homies that you have outside of the game, Justin LeBoy in the building, one of the people that you mentioned, but your teammates, the guys that you've been in battle with, the guys that you won a Super Bowl with, have you heard from any of them? And are any of them on your side, but they just kind of want to also focus on the remainder of the season, then obviously the playoffs?
Obviously, these guys know it's not right, but what position are these guys? What are they going to ruin it for their families? We all at different forms of phases in our life of our income. And also, it's like, what they going to make themselves a target to advocate for some they know. But if you think about it, what about Vincent Jackson? Vincent Jackson died from CTE, used to play with Tampa Bay Bucks. Demarius Thomas passed away for the Denver Broncos. They showed him love. Tampa Bay haven't showed a lot of love to Vincent Jackson, but I'm not here. to spread light on anything that's outside of myself, but it's just the principle of people and loving. We got to pay dues to people, treat people the right way, have respect. That's natural humanity. That's not asking for much or anything outside of the norm. So I think as a whole, we got to hold people accountable, organizations accountable for how they treat people.
All right, AB. Last couple questions before we wrap you up. Uh, I know that you've been through a lot, but I can't tell you the last time I seen a football player drop a new single after everything that happened. So and the single surprisingly fire. So talk to me about Pit to the Palace, man. How long you had that in the tuck? Were you planning to put that out this entire time, or were you just feeling it in the moment? It's like, fuck it, I'm just put this song out. Like, talk to me about what was the motivation behind doing that.
Yeah, well, shout out my guy Roy Lamana Video, man. He's behind all my distribution. No, he sit around with all my music and plan when it's gonna come out. So he did a great job with that. Um, it's good having great people around you to do things for you that you ain't got to worry about. So shout out to him, Roy Lamont Video, and shout out to Cal Records for keeping it going. But I'm here to just spread the word and positivity, to share the love, and to be a voice. And I'm just grateful to be able to put that out.
Yeah, and quick shout out. I'm so proud of these young men. As you can see, my boy Justin LeBoy's on the phone. AB's here. We all pull together, show love, and it's all about love and about a vibe. Justin, I didn't know if you wanted to add something real quick. I know you've been supporting AB from, you stay a big time. So I don't know if you want to add something, fam.
Justin is everywhere. If he's not with Kanye, he's with Antonio Brown. If he's not with
Hey yo,
Quavo,
listen,
Barack Obama, like
we outside and AB got the fire record. AB, listen, man, to another team pick you up, you gotta pull up to the studio, man. Me and Ye working, and Ye wants you to pull up, man.
We outside, whoa.
You know what the fuck
Just we
going on?
outside.
Love.
Yo,
Love, Tim.
what is a
gotta hear that
Kanye
Ye and AB record.
what does a Kanye and AV record sound like in one word? Describe that.
Man, amazing, legendary. You know what I'm saying? Ye's also another advocate, for mental health and equality everywhere. So, I'm excited about bringing both of them together.
Someone who's friends with AB and knows him outside of the game and the four walls of that. What is your just quick, I guess, cliff note feelings on everything that has transpired this week?
Hey, Justin, you there?
We lost. Did we lose Justin?
Yeah, we might have lost them. We might have lost them,
We
but
might have lost
let's
him.
we got 5 more minutes, man. So AB, I guess I got maybe one or two more questions before we get you out of here. I just want to go back to your time with the Oakland Raiders, right? Like they offered you $30 million. You know what I'm saying? And through certain circumstances, you either didn't want it or took time away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the mode of thinking behind that? You know what I'm saying? And because when you take a pay cut that deep to go play with a Tom Brady, it almost feels like you just want championships. But obviously, money is always going to be important. You know what I'm saying? So after the Raiders situation, after this situation, like what was kind of the mindset behind that? Because I feel like you could have got your money, but you probably wouldn't have won. But you did win now, and now not necessarily you getting the money that you obviously deserve.
Well, at that point in my life, man, it was about being a champion, being committed to greatness, laying out a plan for myself that I want to achieve and going after it and achieving it. And at that point, in my vision, it wasn't about $30 million. It was about finding a way to be a champion, to be able to come back to Miami and tell the kids that I'm number one, to be able to show the ring and be able to live out my dreams. So in the midst of the world thinking I was going crazy because they didn't understand my vision, I wanted to be a champion, and I was grateful I was able to achieve that, to come back in the home state and do that in the home arena, just like the Steelers did it in '08.
And let me say, living in Pittsburgh, I watched AB from his rookie year to he left, and the stuff he's done in this community is unbelievable. It still is affecting the inner city and the suburbs. Same thing in Florida. I mean, there's so many things off the field that he don't ask about, he don't tell nobody about. Many times I ask him to come to a school, talk to some kids, he'll be there. Many a times he's done charitable things for years and years. When he came here as a fourth round draft pick, he was coming out. So his off the field is incredible. So I just want to leave with that. I appreciate you guys, Sean. I love you, boy. We got to get rolling.
For sure. Appreciate it. AB, appreciate you speaking to us. And I just want to ask you this final question to close out. Obviously, people are going to take their sides, people are going to have their opinions. But we talk about mental health with athletes, and people want to say that they're advocates for that until I think sometimes it's actually time to be an advocate for that. Can you just speak on your mental health, how you're dealing with that, how you're making sure that you're okay to deal with whatever fallout comes or continues to come from this? And what are your just thoughts on mental health in the sports space in general now that you're kind of dealing with something that once again puts you in that realm?
Well, I've been here before, I've been here times. I've been counted out leaving the Steelers. I've been counted out leaving the Raiders. I've been counted out leaving the Patriots. I've been out the league for 2 years, counted out and never coming back. I then came back and won the Super Bowl. I had adversity, I had to get my body taken care of, work done with surgeries. I continue to come back, and that's the heart of a champion, the heart of a lion. And life is about the work, the story, as long as you stay driven. So you write the story within your heart, not what people say. And I think as a player in mental health, you gotta learn to have a place in your mind where you don't let people get to. You don't let people bother you, and you gotta have good friends that you could kumbaya with, be into it and intuition with, and be able to see that mindset. Waking up, being great, being disciplined, what I eat, how I train, what I think, being able to deal with all kind of adversities and deal with it the right way. And then life is not about being right. A lot of people in jail because they thought they did something right off principles. And it's not about being right. You got to learn at some point it's about being happy. So at some point I used to want to combat or talk about or come at people who come at me, but you got to realize what your vision is and what you want and be able to see the bigger picture and not let people get into your space. So with that, call God.
That's a bar. Well, Chuck, AB, I know you guys got to get going. We appreciate you coming through, sharing your side of the story. I think, it's safe to say everyone is going to be tuned in to what happens next, where AB goes next, just everything dealing regarding this entire situation. But again, we appreciate you guys coming through and speaking with us. We know you're not doing much media while you're trying to figure out what's going on, but we appreciate you taking the time to pick us out of all the options that you probably had.
Hey, B, Chuck,
Like,
appreciate it.
Hey,
Word.
we
Thank
appreciate y'all. Love you. Appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate you,
call
Steve,
God.
Ashley.
And
Love you, AB.
don't forget, people tune in right here on
Love, Uncle
Clubhouse
Chuck.
every Monday through Friday.
Love,
Tune in to
baby.
Tapped In. You know what I mean? We'll be here. You never know what's gonna pop up. You might have AB pop up. You might have us pop up. But make sure you tune in right here each and every Monday through Friday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm Kaz. That's Ashley. Sean from
Let's
Clubhouse, Fadi as
Guys,
always.
before we close out, we got like 8 more minutes. Let's go ahead and call some people up here to get some reactions to what they've
That's a
heard.
good idea.
Listen, I feel like everyone has their opinions until you hear both sides of the story. So, if anybody has any thoughts on what they've heard and they want to go ahead and share that with the room before we close out, please go ahead and raise your hand. Kaz and myself will go ahead and bring you up, let you speak your piece, and we can go ahead and do it like that. So, Kaz, you want to start calling some people up?
Yeah, man. I just see my boy Omar. I seen Bohan over here. Like I see a bunch of incredible sports minds that I want to invite up here to speak. So if I throw you that invite, just hop on here and let's get it going, man. I see
Yeah,
my boy
I'm doing this.
Kevin here.
If your hands raised, I'm bringing you up. So,
Yeah, yeah. So if your hands is raised, I'm bringing you on. Let's get it going, man. So who you got coming on the
Ew.
stage?
What's up?
Big Gabby. All right. What's up,
What's
Big
going
Gabby? What's
on?
up, Steph?
So like I'm not really big on sports and anything, but I'm really big on like the whole political side of what had happened. I think it was really messed up how they try to play him like that. Like they don't know who he is. Yeah, like I don't even know sports like that, but I know who the fuck Antonio Brown is, and the disrespect that he had faced is crazy.
All right, that's a take right there. Appreciate it. All right, let's see, Jeff. You got something to say?
Yo, this is crazy. Oh, so yeah, I feel like I feel like a lot of this is it's dope that y'all got AB to come up. So shout out to y'all. I'm glad to hear his side of the story too. I think it's with everything that's going on with AB throughout the years and all the things that we've heard and we've seen. I think still you have to be able to put some credence into players playing hurt because we know players play hurt